Hey, good morning. It is your local Wichita real estate agent. So I am a little late on today, which is really kind of funny. Today I want to talk about some rent, the issue of buying versus renting and which is better. And funny enough, I'm late because I was at court helping out a client of mine, an investor, who was actually doing an eviction, and which usually can go fairly quickly, but we were the one people out of 13 that they were working with today that wanted to go to trial. So was there from like 8:30 to a little bit after 11 when I got here to do this. So anyways, want to talk about rents today and buying, and just kind of show you some statistics that came up last a couple weeks, so beginning of January, end of December, and it'll be kind of some interesting stuff. And this kind of answers the question of buying versus renting. So let me switch screens here, show you. Start with median asking. So this just shows, of course, we all know, of course, prices and rents are going to increase. I just wanted to let you look at this big, huge increase here at the end from the last many years. And let's see, we have to see the dates down here, 28, 29, and just sharp increase. We've been hearing the last year that the rents have gone up, obviously, along with the appreciation of houses. So both of them are just going up and up and up, kind of starting to slow down a little bit. Of course, with the interest rates stabilizing somewhat. So with that, let's go check out. Here's the slide that I really want to kind of show us. So this, let's pretend it's over the next 5 years. This is if you are renting. This is the information that kind of puts some numbers as far as this again is a recent graphic out. Looks like a December 22 or around 22. So down here we have the Census Bureau of America, and it kind of shows you what the sources of these are. But so it's a good indicator. So here, over the next 5 years, would you rather rent? So let's talk about the rent on the left-hand side or buy. So if you rent over the next 5 years, and this is an average from a national standpoint, not from Wichita, but again, it applies here as well. So an average monthly rent payment. So if you're paying $24.95, let's call it about $2,500 for if you're renting. If you were to buy that, let's say, exact same property, you would be paying a mortgage payment instead of a rent payment of $1,487. So about $1,500. So it's approximately about $1,000 less that you're paying for a mortgage. And this would be monthly payment. The total payment, and this is where we're looking at the next 5 years, you'd be paying $150,000, $149,700, as it states exactly on this chart, over the next 5 years. Where if you owned this particular home, you would be paying about $89,220. So total payment, and that's over the next 5 years. So check out, that's huge difference right there. Not quite 100,000, but maybe 80-ish or something like that. If you are renting that same property, condo, whatever it is, the tax benefits that you'd have would be zero tax benefits. If you have bought that property and the owner of that property, the average, this is just again average, tax benefits are $25,000 to $50,000. Blow this up a little bit. And appreciation, of course, if you're renting, you're getting zero appreciation. Where in this comparison chart, if the estimated home value appreciation, if you're looking at estimated 3.5% per year. So meaning that you're appreciating, close to 9,000. So 8918 they have here. So just think about every year. If it was appreciating at 3.5%, that house is increasing in value every year about $9,000. So at the end of 10 years, 9,000 plus 9,000 plus 9,000. And it is, as we know, from just talking about the home appreciation the last couple of years, usually we look at real estate as a long-term investing pattern. Over the long term, you're going to make money. Of course, it's ridiculous over the last 3 years. If you bought your house, 3 years ago, even 4, appreciation went up. It just skyrocketed. I've seen, And of course in the big cities, it's a lot bigger than what we're seeing in Wichita. But so yeah, this kind of shows you. So, if you're renting this, now don't get me wrong, renting is important if you're not going to stay in a property for very long. If you're moving from state to state, area to area, um, you know, buying and selling a house, wouldn't it be great? You're paying 6% commissions every time you sell a house. So unless you built equity in that particular house, you will lose money. So I'm not saying, and again, renting or buying, that's a personal preference, and depending if you're going to be in the area for a long term. And other my buyers have situations where, like, let's say some younger buyers I had recently, they bought a house here, and funny enough, they got transferred fairly quickly, but they had already kind of thought in the back of their mind that, hey, we want to be landlords. And so it was an area, a very popular area. Actually, here it was Riverside. And so they turned around and basically rented that out as they got transferred so quickly to another state, actually. So that was kind of in the back of their minds and their game plan. But this is showing you with numbers right here, pulled from data that we've had recently. In this chart, I found within the last 3 weeks, I believe. So again, that's showing you right in front of you, 2,500 versus you'd be paying 1,500. So look at that. Whoever has this house, and if they're renting it out, they're making $1,000 a month right there. Now, a lot of times, property management, if they have somebody doing the property management, they pay about 10% per month to that property manager. So there's some fees in there to have somebody else actually, take care of the property and whatnot. But still, as you can see, the numbers are pretty amazing. And then of course, down the road, you're creating equity so you can take a line of credit down the road and stuff like that. So, okay, let's go to the next one. Here's from, I believe this chart again was pulled within the last couple of weeks. This is the rent growth that it's expected to continue. So green here is for this forecast for this year, 2023, but we have the actual numbers for the last 3 years, and look at, 2013 to 2019, on average increased 5% for rent. And the sample we just used on that past one, we use at 3.5%. So you see here, we use the 3.5%. So we kind of were conservative, so to speak. And so here, so this is from 2013 to 2019. There was a 5% appreciation on average. 2021, there was 10%, huge appreciation. That's why I said if people bought 3 to 4 years ago, just made great money on it. Then last year's, now that we're at the end of it, the average is 7.7%, again, huge. And the forecast for rent, this is for rent, not for house appreciation, is to still keep increasing, but not at the levels of the last 2 years because it was getting kind of crazy. So still, but still increasing 6.3%. So that kind of gives you, and then a couple other. So with rent, let's go back and kind of finish off this rental conversation. So yeah, and like I said, I was just helping get out a buyer of mine this morning, where there was an eviction, and this renter had been there for 5 years and even paid their money, but then at this point had not paid it, and they have a 3-day rule where you get the eviction notice placed on the door of the area, and then either you got to come to an agreement with the landlord, or in this case, then everybody shows up at court, signing off that they agree to the eviction, or in my case, going to trial. And yes, my landlord did win, just because he had the paperwork and stuff like that. So the tenant got about a week's notice to vacate the property. So just a few other things I want to talk about today as a market update is I just wanted to kind of go over this chart again, just because it's the last one that we've had. And as soon as this one gets updated, I will share that as well. I believe I had spoken about, back in October, this chart was a little different. The 1, 2, 3, 4, everything up to Fannie Mae on the left was showing appreciation. And I believe this one came out in about December. I cut that off. And so as you can see, Freddie Mac, MBA, Mortgage Brokers Association, and Fannie Mae all changed their mind from an appreciation forecasting to a depreciation. So they're in the red now. And Zelman was the only one that already forecasted back in October that it was going to be in the red. So yeah, so and the main chart when I look at, so when you let's look at to the green, this 0.1%. So let's just kind of call it flat. That's what the expectation is as of about a month ago. And they're probably pulling past data, so it's probably from 2 months ago. But that was also happening when mortgage rates, interest rates kept increasing, and there was a little bit more volatility in the market. So just again, wanted to, since I try to do the market updates every Monday, wanted to just kind of go back to this chart. And here's just another fun little fact. What this chart is showing, and this is more just a nationwide thing, not necessarily Wichita, but in case anybody is heading toward another state, this shows the rankings 1 to 10 on the left of the most where people are going to. So as you can see in 2020, Tennessee, and this little number here just means what it was the prior year. So in 2019, Tennessee was number 12 and it moved up to number 1. I've heard and just seen on Facebook a lot that, and social media in general, that Tennessee is just pretty popular. But then look at this, 2021, Texas took over the rankings, and again in 2022. And of course, Florida's been up there a lot. You see, it was number 1, then here it ranked number 3, then here back to 2, and then here stayed at 2. And then Arizona, and actually funny enough, I've had some Arizona people coming here to Wichita, but that's just because the price of houses is so low here in Arizona. I've got another one, Idaho right now coming to Wichita. They're even on the top 10 chart. Look at their number 9 for 2021 and number 10 for 2022. And of course, I just am watching the Idaho murders right now. So, but yeah, Idaho looks like that's another one people are going to. But Tennessee's over here, like what's 3 there, and it's ranked 6 most recently. Arizona's ranked 7 this year, Georgia, Ohio. But yeah, this is just kind of when the National Association of Realtors is checking out, hey, where's everybody going to? This is kind of showing you the last 3 years where they were. And then, of course, in the little numbers to the right, it's showing you where they were the previous year. Fun fact, so to speak. And this I just want to show you because this is I do a lot of TikTok data information too. And just because they've got this green screen now on there, I love it because it shows you all the numbers of 2020, 21. So I can do that in a quick, easy TikTok, and I try to show it on the other markets, but let's just run this for a second. Volume. Okay, interesting. But anyway, so on TikTok, where you can actually hear it, I just kind of pointing out to looking at the last many years as far as where this, I believe, is the median price point, showing how inexpensive Wichita is. Like if you look at 2020, we're in the 140s, 150s, and look at, we finally hit over 200s here in 2022, and this is the median price point. I believe at the end of this, we're at 206. But I'll be getting the December data, and so next Monday might be me giving you. Yeah, here I'm just showing how we hit. I'm just showing you. This is month over month, obviously, and year over year. So yeah, if you want to get more information on not just the weekly Monday updates, but I do short little TikTok videos on TikTok, and I try to share those on Instagram or the Reels, and then also in the YouTube Shorts, which you might see if you're already on my YouTube channel. And let's go to the last thing. This was just one other data. Of course, we don't have the December. As soon as I do, I believe, hopefully it comes out this week. So either this next Monday or the Monday after, I will go through all the updated statistics. But let's just look at another statistics of information we have. And this is just closed listings by month. And of course, you see here down, we don't have this December, so we'll have that next. But yeah, check this out. And I did look back to prior years. I think the data in our, is it the Wichita State University real estate group? They pull the data for real estate in Wichita. And so once so I went back and looked at a spreadsheet there, and I can't remember if I showed it on here. I will in the future. But when I was looking at some of the years, I went back about 10 years, and some years, we had 3,000 listings, 4,000 listings. So here we're looking at, and right now, I mean, gosh, I checked it just the other day. We have under 1,000 listings. And this is kind of showing you, these are what's closed, by the way. This isn't the actual full listings. This is just what's closed. So, just in the summer months, I mean, that's why the multiple offers this year, just more buyers than listings. At least we hit over 1,000 in May and June and August again. And then, of course, we're down. And, of course, we know, but July being a peak month, that was under 1,000. And then it kind of shows you 2020. And then just look over here. Well, now, my most interesting about this chart is check out the blue line. That's this year. With the interest rates going up, up, and up, this is basically it's going down, down, and down because buyers basically compared to usually I'm used to through December, houses selling fairly well. I've got plenty rolling with me, got plenty of buyers and sellers still closing and still looking, and so the green and yellow look more normal and feel more normal to me. Where the blue, I mean, just shows you how it went down, down, down because the buyers went and kind of sat on the sidelines. I saw this specifically from a listing, literally listed it like the week that the market stopped, which it should have been a house that went pretty quickly. And it just sat for a couple months. We're pending now, but it just, with the interest rates going to that 7 and just buyers are like, okay, let's see where it lands. And we've kind of stabilized now. And from the forecasting, what I hear on the interest rates, we should be stable and kind of, if not down a little bit by the end of 2023. So I'll have, of course, I'll keep you updated every week on this on the Mondays that I do these updates. So that kind of is what I wanted to cover today. Here, just going over all the slides again, the ranking of where the population is going to 1, 2, 3 through 10 year over year. The home pricing forecast for 23 is, from a national standpoint, is going to be flat, I believe, for Wichita, based on previous information I've shared, that we should be appreciation here in this town. And I will say this, when I'm talking Wichita versus national is very different. So if you are looking to move to Wichita, make sure you talk to me because we do not react like we do. Like I know San Francisco, I think I've seen it's going to be down 15%, where I believe we're going to be up a couple percentage. We were already higher than what the national average was showing. But I'm just going to kind of wait until Wichita, till the experts kind of speak on that. But we should still be somewhat appreciating in Wichita, and that's based on the WSU forecast. So again, call me more for more details on this, but this is from a national standpoint. And I will admit, some of the articles that I have seen, I don't have any of them pulled up right now, but they are talking about, you almost have to know which market we're talking about because some are expected to appreciate, some are expected to depreciate. So with all the flux happening, even though the national says flat, San Francisco's going to be down 15%. And that's going to be the case with others. So make sure wherever you're moving to, you're talking to somebody specifically that follows the market, not just any realtor, but somebody that actually follows the market and has this information on the back, can tell you about that particular market because it is different per market that you are going into. Wichita, we are expected to appreciate, looks like from a national standpoint, expected to go flat. And rent, okay, just to recap all the rent growth expected to continue 6.3% this year. That's my little example of how if you're paying rent at about $2,500, the owner of your house is only paying $1,500 and they're getting tax benefits and it's appreciating. So they're gonna have a lot more money in their pocket 10 years from now. So again, more specific information or examples I can tell you. And of course, rent's going up. So there we have it. Hopefully you've gotten some good information. I would love it if you subscribe or like this video. Again, I do the Monday market updates weekly. I do TikTok and Instagram and other stuff. More so TikTok nowadays since I've got the cool, and then the background I can point and talk about specific data that I'm finding in articles and stuff like that. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and reach out if there's anything I can do for you from a loan origination, getting a lender, and real estate data that you are looking for. Have a great one.